7 tools every homeowner needs, next on Really Great Gear. Hi, welcome back to Really Great Gear. We bring you tools, toys, and gadgets designed to make life easier and work more fun. This episode was inspired by a guy named Dean Sharp, also known as the House Whisperer. Dean did a segment recently on a local radio show talking about inexpensive tools that every homeowner should have. I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to share it with all of you, but I decided to make a few changes. These are very simple hand tools that even non-DIYers should have available in their home. Each one of these costs less than $20, some even less than $10. Now let's take a look. The first tool is something that I believe every homeowner should have. It's an emergency gas wrench. As you probably guessed, it's used to shut off the gas supply to your home in the event of a gas leak. Now, in order to use this wrench, you need to know where your gas meter is located. So I recommend buying the wrench and then going on a search to locate the gas meter for your house. Hint, it's probably located on the side of your house. When you get to your gas meter, you'll notice the gas shutoff valve close by. Now the wrench that I'm showing has the actual instructions on how to use it printed right on the wrench. And it comes with a zip tie so you can attach it right near the gas valve. That way it's ready to be used when and if you ever have a gas leak. This tool could literally save lives in the event of a gas leak. The second tool is one of these specialized sink plungers. Now most of us have a big plunger in our home that we use for what? Plunging our toilets when they become clogged. But is that something you really want to put in your sink? Instead, why not have a compact plunger reserved just for your sink that you can store under the sink and that isn't contaminated with all of that stuff that a toilet plunger probably has on it? Does anybody really think it's a good idea to use your toilet plunger in your sink? This is $7 on Amazon, and there's a link in the description below if you want more information. Next, have you ever dropped anything down a drain or into an area that's impossible to reach by hand? That's where this little tool comes into play. It can snake into the P-trap of a sink and try to grab a lost ring or small clog and pull it out, or slide it into a smaller confined space that you can't fit your hand into, press the plunger, and this little claw comes out to grab whatever you've dropped. This one was less than $5 on Amazon, and I have a link in the description below. The companion to the claw is the telescoping magnetic pickup. Maybe whatever you're trying to reach can't be grabbed with the claw. Well, if it's made of a ferrous metal, meaning that it can be attracted with a magnet, then you can use this tool to reach back and try to grab it, or even just move it to a location where you can reach it by hand. Again, this is $5 or $6 on Amazon, and there's a link in the description below. The next tool that should be in every house is a multi-adjustable wrench. This one wrench fits nuts and bolts from 1/4 inch to 3/4 inches on one side, and on the other side is metric and adjusts from 7 millimeters to 19 millimeters. There's one adjustment screw in the middle that adjusts the sides of both ends, and it's something that can be easily left in the drawer to reach for quick projects. Now this isn't going to eliminate the need for wrenches for bigger jobs, but when you need a wrench quickly, this is great. This one is less than $20 on Amazon. Something else in the multi-fit category is this universal socket. This socket, if you look on the bottom, is filled with spring-loaded pins that form to the size and shape of nuts you're trying to loosen or tighten, from 1/4 inch up to 3/4 inches, and even metric from 7 millimeters to 19 millimeters. One of the advantages of the multi-socket is that it even works with many nuts and bolts that have been stripped, because the pins form to the shape of the nut. Is this going to be as good as a complete set of socket wrenches for every job? No, of course not. But does it work well for stripped nuts and bolts? And is it much handier to have than a complete set of sockets in every size? Yes, it is. This is $10 on Amazon. This last tool is the Air Shim, and it's less than $20 and can be used to lift up to 300 pounds. It says it can be used for windows, doors, and more. I've seen people use this to lift a heavy appliance slightly so that the little legs underneath can be leveled easier. I recently used it to raise a file cabinet that was full of files. The floor in my office must be at a slight tilt, and a couple of my file drawers would slide open on their own. So I'd either have to lock them all the time or use a piece of tape to keep them closed. I decided to get some shims, some wobble wedges, to raise the front of the cabinet slightly. But the files are all organized, and I didn't want to have to take them out and put them back in. The file cabinet's also wooden and very heavy when it's full, and would be difficult to lift and hold up on my own while I was sliding the shims underneath. The Air Shim did the job perfectly. I just slid the deflated bag under my file cabinet and started squeezing the bulb to inflate the air shim and raise the cabinet. The bulb started getting hard to squeeze as more and more weight was lifted, so I used my foot to pump in the last few squeezes, and guess what? It really worked. I was amazed. Well, there you go. 7 tools, each one under $20, which every homeowner should have. Is there a particular tool that I mentioned that you agree with or have used yourself? Do you know of a really helpful tool that everyone should have that I left off the list? Please leave your constructive suggestions in the comments section below. If you're interested in any more information on the tools mentioned, there are links in the description below. One of the things I'm looking at doing is seeing how I can conduct giveaways on some of the products I review, but I need to see how to do that and remain within YouTube's policies. If that's something you'd like to see, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I look forward to seeing you next time with more really great gear.
Magnet? Huh? Mga kalikop!